Hi, Troy Smunker from Great Day on the Water Guide Service. Welcoming you to this episode of Fishing Hunting the North Country. Beautiful bluegill there. We are out on a West Metro area lake and we are targeting bedding sunfish. Take a look at this one and get that back. That's about an 8-inch bluegill there. Male up bedding. That fish gill. We are on the edge of some weeds. We've got some cabbage weed and grass mixed here, and that cabbage weed and grass is full of female sunfish staging, full of eggs. And right off to the edge out here is firmer, kind of a sandy clay bottom area, the perfect type of area that sunfish like to bed on. We'll talk more about the areas to target and what to use as we go along, but once you get on these fish, and we'll tell you about the baits too and get dialed in, you can have days where you catch hundreds of bluegills. And that's and on this lake, some pumpkin seeds and some hybrids too. That's what we're hoping to do, so stay with us. Hey, my son Parker here, swinging aboard a nice male bluegill. Got my son Parker with me and my dad Nate. Bluegills on the beds. Western Metro Twin Cities area lake. Looks like a good one there, buddy. Look at him. Oh yeah, nice bull there. Back and we'll get some more. Good job. Yeah, my son Parker's got another one here. Another nice bull bluegill. It's the kind of action you can have just one after another after another. Good one, buddy. It's a good time to catch a nice little batch of them to eat too. We don't need any fish right now, so we're not keeping any, but fresh bluegill fried up in the pan, tough to beat. Just resist the urge to keep limit after limit after limit. Keep a fresh meal. You want to freeze a meal, but don't fill the freezer up. We need these fish in here to produce more and to be able to keep catching them. And Parker with another one. I think Dad's starting to feel schooled here. I am. That's okay. All right, good fish. We'll get that one back. Nicely done. Beautiful morning. Fish are biting. Hey there, I'm getting in on the action here. Nice male bluegill there. Get him to open his mouth for me here. There, got about an 8-incher or so. Get him back out there to do his spawning duty. Hey, ooh, I got a nice chunky one there. Might as well, I'll get this off, whoop, let him go, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we're using. Nice one there. Okay, so right now we're catching them on, this is a 32nd ounce VMC Moon Eye jig. This one's kind of a UV pink tiger, I think it's called. Pink and chartreuse and white. And then on that, I'm fishing a soft plastic tube. 2-inch. You can get them an 1.5 inch, 2-inch. But a soft plastic, a tube is always a good bait to use, but there are other ones too. Untangling his legs there. And then we're suspending that under a small fill slip float. And we've got the slip knot set at about 3 feet deep. You can see I've got a small barrel swivel here. I'm using Berkley Fireline Ultra 8 4-pound test braid on the main line, but then from that swivel I've got about 1.5 foot of Vanish fluorocarbon, just for a little more stealth. And then the swivel, of course, for twist and tangle, because sunfish go in circles and circles and circles when you're biting them, so they can twist up line pretty quick if you don't have some kind of a swivel in there. So that's the first technique. We'll probably use a couple other techniques today. We'll talk about those as we get to them. I'm doing this on we're using 7 or 8 foot. These are St. Croix Panfish series rods, but they're an ultralight rod with a fast tip, the longer rods. So we got a little bit of a breeze this morning, so when you're setting the hook, making a nice long sweeping hook set, you take up the slack more with a longer rod and get that hook set, because they take it down, but they let it up pretty quick, so you got to be quick with them when they're on the beds. And then a spinning reel, just a little Fluger Try-On ultralight spinning reel, and again spooled with that 4-pound test Berkley Fireline Ultra 8. Hey there, I got another one. Another nice 8-inch or so bowl on that soft plastic underneath the slip bobber. They're out there. One trick, we've got an area here of beds. Throw out, if you are over a bed, you should get bit pretty quick within the first couple of seconds. If you don't, move it a little bit, reel it a little bit, and then stop until you find where the fish are at, because they're not going to be running around and chasing. They are going to be sitting pretty tight to their bed, so you got to get pretty close. So you can't just sit and stare at the bobber and wait for them to come to you. If you don't get bit, reel it 3 or 4 feet, let it sit 3 or 4 feet, and if during that whole process bringing back to the boat you don't get bit, then cast a little different. And then when you find a spot where you get a fish, then go back to that spot and back to that spot, because there's usually quite a few there. Mentioned color on those soft plastics. I happen to be using a pink and white, but my son is using a orange and chartreuse, and my dad is using a pink and chartreuse. So typical panfish colors, usually lighter, brighter ones. White, chartreuse, orange, pink are usually a good mix of colors, especially with some filtered sunshine like this. They'll tell you if there's a preference. A lot of days there won't be, but some days there could be, and if there is, they'll let you know. Oh, we can swing over. Grandpa's got one. That's the kind of action you can have. Get one in and the next person's bringing one in. Oh, weeds with it too, but there's another nice bull. Yeah, some Parker's got a nice one here. Ooh, that's a nice chubby one there, buddy. Along with some weeds. While Parker's taking his off, my dad Nate's got one. Move to the back of the boat so I can see them both here. Sorry we're facing into the sun a little bit here right now, but that's how we're positioned with the wind. There's Parker, nice one, buddy. You can let that one go. Ooh, and Grandpa's got a nice chubber there too. Nice bull. Oh yeah, nice fish. Good job, guys. Parker swinging aboard a nice bull bluegill there. On that soft plastic, hanging under the bobber yet. Ooh, that's a nice one there, buddy. Nice solid fish. We'll get a picture of you and Grandpa with that one, and then we'll put that one back. Good fish, buddy. Back to make babies and fight another day. And Parker swung aboard another one, hit right by the boat here. He had his line sitting for a minute, and he reached and grabbed it to move and bring it in, and the fish nailed it right next to the wood. Yeah, buddy. Again, we'll kind of go through our location here. We have kind of behind us here, we have cabbage and grass mixed in, and there's some bass we did catch. We didn't get video of, but we caught about a 2-pound bass on this little light panfish gear a little while ago. And then the female sunfish, you can see them splashing around and their backs coming out of the water once in a while, are out staging in these weeds. There are crappies in these weeds too. May try for some of them a little bit. The crappies just finished spawning and are hanging out in the cabbage there. And then right out here we've got a little firmer bottom, kind of a mix of sand and clay, and that's where the sunfish are, the bluegills are bedding. The males, which is what we mean by bedding, the males fan out a nest, kind of a bowl-shaped nest, get down to firmer bottom under that sand and clay, down to firmer sand or gravel, and then they get their breeding colors going. Ooh, there's a big snapping turtle out there, stuck his head out again. And they then hang out there and attract. Oh, Parker's got one going. Good video of him. Another nice bluegill there. And they attract are trying to attract, to get all colorful and try to attract females to their bed. The females swim from the weeds out onto that firmer bottom where the beds are, and they lay their eggs. The males attract as many females as they can to lay eggs in their nest, and then the males guard the eggs. The females leave, go back into the weeds. Nice one, buddy. And the males guard the eggs until they hatch, and then the little fry are on their own after that. But that's what we're doing right now. The males are guarding the nest, and they will hit anything that comes anywhere near that nest, and that's why we're using baits that are either sitting still or moving very slow. Something suspended under a float is a great way, but we might try some other techniques here later too. Sunfish right there. Oh yeah, nice pretty bull there. Some good colors on him. Good one there. Get him back. We'll get another one. Ooh, there's our biggest one of the day there. Look at that, buddy. That's a solid 9-inch bluegill there. Beautiful. Oh, quick release. Makes it easy when they do that, I guess. And Parker hoisting aboard another one here. Jackie, you want to take the camera? Or, no, my bar went down when I came back up. Ooh, that one chomped down on it, huh? Need a little help with that one?
Yeah.
A little smaller. That's our first small male. But, still a young male out there bedding. And my dad Nate's got one here. Oh yeah, nice bull there. Good job. Yeah, my dad's got one on here. There, nice bull there. Good job, Dad. Yeah, my son Parker. A little bit smaller male there, but still a nice pretty one. Fish after fish after fish here. That's sunfish on the beds. Yeah, we got another one here. Looks like a pretty nice, nice male bluegill there. Yeah, we got a picture of that one, and then we'll let him go. Get back to his spawning duties. All right, we got a nice big bluegill there. Look at that one, bigger than my hand. We're gonna get a picture of that, and then we'll let that boy go. Hey, we got another. We kind of something good to talk about. With the first spot where we were catching all those, we kind of burn that spot a little bit after you catch a lot of fish. Look at the size of that one there. That's beastie. After you catch a lot of fish out of an area, you can kind of spook them a little bit, burn the spot a little. Oh, he's milking. So we moved. We're going to leave that spot alone. We can check it back later. Move to another spot. Now, bing, bing, we're getting some real beasts on this spot too. So, oh, son Parker, you can switch back there. Oh,
That was a bass.
That was a bass? Okay, we did catch a bass earlier too. You get a picture of that boy, and then we'll let it go.
Parker's got a good one here.
Good one, Parker.
Nice fish, bud.
And my son Parker's got a nice one here. Oh yeah, nice pretty healthy bull bluegill there. Quick release. That's a nice one. You're lipping bluegills, you're getting good ones. Ah, boy. And my son Parker's got another one. Ooh, nice one there. Nice, pretty colorful bull. And another thing you'll notice, they don't all do the bedding at exactly the same time everywhere in the lake. Our first spot, the fish were the males were dirty looking. Females didn't really seem to have any eggs left in them much, so they might have just been getting near the end of the egg laying process. Now here the males are a little more colorful. Females are chunky and full of eggs, so they might be just a few days behind that other spot and just getting going with the beddings. Be happening over a period of probably a week and a half, 2 weeks all over the lake. Nice fish there, buddy. Hey there, we got another one. Got a real nice, fat, pretty one here. Yeah, these guys are in their full breeding colors here. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. Bigger than my hand again. On that little 2-inch tube on that little 32nd ounce jig head underneath the slip bobber. Some Parker here's got a nice one. Oh yeah, nice pretty one there. Good male bluegill there. We haven't caught a pumpkin seed or a hybrid yet in our first 2 spots today. All bluegills.
It's not hooked inside. It's not.
I got him under the chin there, yeah. Good one, buddy. Hey there. We got a double. My son's got a real nice bluegill, and I got a bass. Not a bad bass, he just feels bigger than what he is on all this light tackle. There we go. How's your sunny look there? Pretty good, Dale? Oh yeah. Well, help there. You hooked in the roof of the mouth. Hard, yeah. Good safer too. There. All right, hold him up there. A mixed double. You'll get some bass because the bass are up here chasing around, not necessarily that size sunfish, but the small females they're feeding on. So, good job, buddy. All right, my son Parker's got another nice one here. Oh, that's a beauty, buddy. There is the definition of a bull. I see my bobber going down in the background. That's all right. It's just bobbing around a little bit. Yeah, that is a true bull. Instead of bluegill, bullgill there.
This is bigger than both of my hands combined.
Yeah, that is a, yeah, hold your hand up behind it, your other hand for comparison. That is a beast there, buddy. Nice fish. Get him back. Oh, hold on. All right, my dad's got a beast, nice colorful beast there. Got his prime bedding colors going there. Look at that. Ah, and he's milking on. That's the thing when you're catching these fish on the beds. They'll milk on you sometimes like that. Part of the game. Oh, I got a double here. Swing to Parker's bobber while Grandpa gets that out because Parker's had one biting. All right. In addition to bass being a bonus when you're fishing bluegills on the beds, a lot of times you're near weeds where crappies have just finished spawning will hang out. See if you can catch those two post-spawn crappie there. Not a bad one, 9-10 incher. You could target the crappies and just throw into the weeds more and you catch some small sunfish and crappies, but we're focusing on the big bluegills today. And my dad and my son with a double here. A couple of females. Turn around and show me that. There you go. Yeah, a couple of nice females there. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Fishing and Hunting the North Country. I know myself, my son Parker behind the camera, my dad Nate, we enjoyed bringing it to you. We caught, we had a clicker going, but we had so many doubles and triples we were forgetting to click, but we were somewhere probably I think on the clicker we had about 120 some, but we were more than that, probably closer to 150 sunfish, nice sunfish on the beds. We caught some crappies too. We caught some bass that hit some of the small baits as well. So nice mix, a little bit of everything. Hopefully you learned a few tips about where to look for those fish and about some of those baits to use, that smaller little soft plastic on the jig underneath the slip float. You can get out and just have a ball catching fish after fish after fish. Thanks for watching this episode. We hope to see you at our next one. Until then, for Parker Smutka and Nate Smutka, I'm Troy Smutka from Great Day on the Water Guide Service. Good luck, and I will see you out there somewhere.